YouTube, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the channel. So todayski, as y'all can see from the title down below, we about to be reacting to this video by On Kyle. I hope I'm saying your name right, G. A link will be down in the description if you want to check it out, you know what I'm saying, to his channel and this original video. But he made a video called the 7 levels of competitive FPS games. If you're not hip to my channel, you know what I'm saying, let me go run over here real quick. That's pretty much all we do over here, you know what I'm saying. If they got a gun, we having fun, you feel me? You know what I'm saying, usually some Apex, you know what I'm saying, that's, you know, Big Daddy for my channel. But you know what I'm saying, we got a little bit of Delta Force over here, one of his new games. That's probably one of my new favorite shooting games, you know what I'm saying. We talk about Marathon a little bit, you know what I'm saying, Call of Duty. So you know what I'm saying, if we got a gun, like I said, we going crazy. John Wick on the stick. And this is specifically about competitive FPS, and that's really the main thing that I really love to do on gaming, FPS wise, because I love to play ranked. So here's a little bit of my accomplishments, you know what I'm saying. So you know, we got a little bit of Overwatch experience. Got to master Overwatch, the first one, not 2. Didn't play 2 that much. Apex, we got top 1,000, reached that Predator, and then Halo 5 Guardians Breakout. I got to rank 1 in the world, literally number 1 in the world, you know what I'm saying, big dog status. I pretty much play any first-person shooter games that I love, so I don't really care what everybody else says about it. If I love it, I'm gonna play it a bunch and I'm gonna hop on rank, you know what I'm saying. So I want to take a look at this video because this is up my alley. I watched like a couple seconds of it, and they were talking about some the old competitive rank matches and stuff like that in tournaments, like Optic Gaming, and it just brought back some nostalgia. So I thought this would be a dope video to bring to you guys, so we better get straight into it. Before we get straight to the video, make sure y'all leave a like down below, you know what I'm saying. Take 2 little seconds, help the kid out, you know what I'm saying. Smack that subscribe, smack that like button, you feel me. But also, you know what I'm saying, hit the subscribe button with a little 2-piece combo, you feel me. And yeah, we about to get straight to it. Let's get it.
This one is repping, oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always repping, oh my God.
All right, y'all, let's see what they're talking about in this video, man. Let's see what he's talking about.
In God's name, is that from Sticks?
I ain't gonna lie, the commentators, bro, they be making this shit so hype, bro. This like prime nostalgia for me, bro. Like Optic Gaming, Karma, just even that whole clip, bro. This is like nostalgia, bro. Clayster, R-Cities. I actually played against R-Cities one time. I was having a Call of Duty. I played him in a scrimmage. Scump, Dashy. These are all like super nostalgic players, bro. This just bring back so many memories. Y'all know about that Overwatch, man.
Let's get one thing straight. Not all competitive FPS games are created equal. Some are crowd pleasers, others are deep tactical chess matches, and one sits at the mountaintop like an untouchable god.
I hope you're not talking about Rainbow Six Siege, saying this at the top. My favorite, you know what I'm saying, if we putting at the top, is Apex, you feel me? Call of Duty was there, but Call of Duty been trash recently. But Apex is number 1 for me.
But ranking them, that's where things get.
But he is speaking facts. Every first-person shooter is a little different. That's why I love shooting games. People think it's so simple. Sometimes you just like, well, Call of Duty is simple, but there's a lot of skill and strategy to shooting games, like predicting where people are going to go, how they rotate spawns, knowing the map, knowing the weapons. There's just so much different things, especially on the game like Apex. The skill level goes crazy, and that's why I love it the most. But people think it's just so basic, but there's a lot you can learn from shooting games. I mean, a lot you can do.
Nuclear. The competitive FPS scene isn't just about who can click heads the fastest. It's about legacy, depth, cultural impact, and whether your game will be remembered in 5 years or forgotten faster than a TikTok trend. We're living to the golden age of tactical shooters. Yet half these games are built on foundations shakier than a house of cards in a hurricane. So buckle up, because here are 7 levels of
So I don't know how he gonna do the levels though. I don't know if he talking about. We're gonna see. I ain't gonna stick
competitive FPS games.
That's what he talking about.
Level 1, the graveyard. Welcome to the FPS graveyard, where $1 million one.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. He said the graveyard. So Defiant, yeah, these are all games that were trying to be real popular, or that could have been popular and they died. Defiant was pretty much supposed to replace Call of Duty, and that shit didn't do good. That died. Concord was supposed to be like hero shooter. That did terrible in the release. And I'm not hip to Spectra. I'm not hip to that one.
Graveyard. Welcome to the FPS graveyard, where $1 million budgets
What up, y'all? Because the quality looking a little grim.
meet reality and corporate ambitions get buried faster than you can say servers shutting down. This isn't a single game, it's an entire tier of titles that convinced themselves they could dethrone the kings. First, let's pour one out for Sony's Concord. 8 years in development, 400 million budget, and it
Now that's crazy to me. I wasn't even hip to Concord. I found out this about recently after Marathon released. Everybody was comparing Marathon to Concord. For some reason they thought well, I ain't gonna say they thought, but Marathon got some bad reviews, so I wasn't even hip. But $400 million and it's a hero shooter. I don't understand, and it's by Sony. I really don't understand what went wrong at what Concord. Maybe I'll break down that video about Concord in the future, but that's just crazy to me. 400 million
lasted exactly 14 days before getting yanked offline. 14 days.
And it was out for 2 weeks. That's crazy.
That's barely enough time for players to learn the character names. On the other hand, X-Defiant had everything going for it on paper. Ubisoft backing, decent gunplay, nostalgic faction teaming. But decent doesn't cut it in this genre. Players tried it, shrugged, and went back to the games that actually mattered.
Why is it so, the quality so bad? Hold up, y'all. I don't like the quality. This threw me off for 2 minutes.
Want to ring in the new year?
Skip all that. My fault, y'all. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Cause I don't like the quality. It look a little blurry. YouTube, what's going on with you, man? Why can't I?
It mattered.
There we go. What the hell? What the helly?
Meanwhile,
right, back to it.
Spectre Divide launched with the bold promise of controlling two bodies
Now, okay, I actually did hear about Spectre Divide. When I first heard about this, the concept was kinda cool, but it's just, I don't know, it didn't really intrigue me. Like, you play as multiple characters, so if you die, you get another person to play as. I don't know. It just didn't really sound super promising, but it don't really matter as long as it's done right. You know what I'm saying? I love trying different things and innovating games, but I don't know. I didn't really try this one. I'm not too hip about it, but it just didn't sound that appealing to me when I first heard about it.
simultaneously. Innovative? Absolutely. Sustainable as a competitive ecosystem? The player count.
But I will say the art style is dope. The art style in this game is amazing. I do love this art style.
Speaks for themselves. Each one had passionate developers, unique mechanics, and corporate executives convinced they found the secret sauce. Here's the brutal truth these games all learned too late. Innovation without retention is just expensive fireworks. The FPS graveyard is littered with titles that prioritize being different, which unfortunately isn't enough. Level 2.
I agree with that, because you gotta innovate, but you also gotta retain players' attention. So if you want to innovate, you also just gotta keep them, you know what I'm saying, engaged with your innovation. For example, Titanfall was a great way to do that. You know what I'm saying? They had wall running Titans, and it kept people engaged. But they also innovated and pushed the game even further. So yeah, I agree with that.
Call of Duty. Let's start with the elephant wearing a golden headset. Call of Duty competitive. The CDL pulls 100,000 plus viewers for finals and drove 6 million prize pools like candy. But calling Call of Duty a competitive FPS feels like calling McDonald's fine dining. Sure, millions consume it, but is anyone really taking it seriously when the game literally aims for you? Here's the brutal truth the CDL apologists won't admit. Call of Duty's aim assist is so aggressive it practically plays the game for you. We're talking rotational aim assist that tracks targets through walls, bullet magnetism that bends shots towards enemies, and sticky crosshairs that make missing harder than hitting. So how do you build a competitive scene around mechanics that reduce the skill gap to almost nothing? Meanwhile, the scene also resets itself
I agree with him for the most part. Let me stop that.
every single year, like competitive amnesia. New game, new meta, new maps, new everything. The numbers look impressive on paper. Optic vs FaZe Grand Finals pulling 250,000 viewers, $300,000.
See, this is Optic and FaZe. This is the nostalgia for me. A lot of people don't even know because FaZe Clan is all like about entertainment and content creation and stuff now, but they started from Call of Duty. Literally, Optic and FaZe, they were literally the biggest gaming clans. They always compete. So he said, what did we say about the aim assist? I agree, there's a lot of aim assists in Call of Duty, but because there's a lot of aim assist, you got to really have great chemistry, and a time to kill is super low. But for the most part, I agree with what he's saying, because the skill level difference, it's not too much of a difference. Like, if you're super good at Call of Duty and you go against a random person, they could still kill you probably 4 times out of 10, just because it's the first person who sees the first person first, and they got aim assist, and they got a lot of, you know what I'm saying, time to kill is so low. So, but in a game like Apex, for example, if you are super skilled, like Predator Master, and you go against a silver, you're gonna kill them 9 times out of 10, because there's a time to kill, there's skill to it. So I agree with what he's saying for the most part, but there is a lot more to Call of Duty. People realize there's a lot of teamwork, positioning, like for example holding anchors and stuff like this, because Call of Duty is one of the first games I used to compete in. There's a bunch of tactics to do when you are competing, so it's not super simple, but it's a lot simpler than a lot of other games.
Paychecks for champions. But strip away the marketing budget and nostalgia, and you're left with an elaborate commercial for the next $70 release. It's pretty much competitive fast food, engineered for mass appeal, profitable as hell, but ultimately very disposable. Level 3, Halo. Halo literally wrote the blueprint for console esports when most of you were still learning to walk.
That's
Before Counter-Strike was selling out arenas, Master Chief was packing MLG events with 50k screaming fans, watching split-screen or lockout duels. The 2006
Halo is what got me in. What was first? I think Halo was first, and then I got into Call of Duty. But they were neck and neck. But Halo, yeah, Halo's really started a lot of the FPS and competitive gaming. And Halo 5 honestly was one of my favorite games. But a lot of people didn't like Halo 5 just because they were trying to innovate at the time, but nobody wanted to innovate. I mean, they did the player base didn't want them to innovate the game. They wanted the same base game, but they wanted to improve it. But they took a whole nother. That's another video for another story for another day. But yeah, I really love Halo. Long story short.
7 MLG Vegas finals between Final Boss and Carbon pulled the numbers that would make modern Halo Championship Series event cry. But let's address the uncomfortable truth. Halo today is a former heavyweight champion still throwing punches at.
See, and it's crazy because he's showing Halo 5 gameplay, and this was one of my favorite games. But I hate that people didn't like this game because this was so dope to me. I felt like a fucking Spartan. Like, that was the whole thing they were trying to do, make you feel like a Spartan. And that's exactly what I felt like. And it was modern, it was newer. I don't know why people, well, I don't know why, but anyway.
The Halo World Championship 2023 peaked at 115,000 viewers, which is respectable, but a far cry from what other esports games routinely pull. Modern Halo is living off legacy more than current relevance, and everyone knows it. Yet here's why Halo still deserves this spot. It proved console FPS could be just as skill intensive as PC games when everyone said it was impossible. 4-shot BR kills, spawn timing mastery, power weapon control, this wasn't casual couch gaming. Halo pioneered the LAN party atmosphere that every modern esports event tries to recapture.
What I loved about Halo is this was one of the first games, it's like everything's even. It's all about skill. So it's like you gotta get to the weapons first, understand the map. Everyone starts out with the same weapons. You know what I'm saying? You pick up the weapons on the map. So it's like, it's strategy to it. And it was like everyone started at an even base. That's what I love the most about Halo, because everyone starts at the same. Like I said, I literally climbed all the way to #1 in the world. If you're not hip to Halo 5's system, here, I'll show y'all real quick. And I love the ranking system and everything. I'm really hurt that Halo 5 wasn't as received by the community as possible. Hold up. What do they rank? I mean, these are it, but I want to show y'all because this is bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, but then there's onyx and champion ranking. Am I missing something, y'all? Well, I guess this is here we go. So it goes silver, gold, bronze. Well, it's not in order, but let me see if it want in order. If not, we'll say fuck it. But yeah, I guess it's not in order. But then after diamond, you would go to onyx, and after onyx, it's all these is like the top players in the world. But then if you get even the top 200, and this is one of the first games that started this, like Apex Legends, Call of Duty, they started doing something like this. But Halo 5 was one of the first games to do it, to where once you get champion, it's like once you're top 250 players in the world with the most RP, you'll get this logo. And a lot of games started to adopt that. And like I said, I literally got to #1 in the world, so like there was different game modes. I love the breakout, so I got to literally champion #1 in the world. I just wanted to see if there was like an actual, I don't like that order. I want to show y'all, but I guess I don't got none. Just real quick. Yeah, I ain't about to look all day. We back to the video.
Those MLG Anaheim crowds weren't just watching a game, they were witnessing history. The game might be swimming in a smaller pond now, but it's a pond Halo helped dig. That counts for something, even if the current fish aren't
that
as
shot
big
was
as they
crazy.
used to be. Level 4, Overwatch. Overwatch is the most
got some
expensive
Overwatch
lesson in
experience too,
esports
man.
history, and we all got to watch the train wreck in 4K. Activision Blizzard threw 20 million franchise fees at the Overwatch League, convinced they could buy their way into traditional sports legitimacy. For one brief shining moment in 2018 to 2019, it actually looked like it might work. 40 million plus viewers for grand finals, celebrity investors, ESPN coverage. Then reality delivered a brutal lesson in why you can't just throw money at competitive integrity. The viewing experience was pure chaos. If you weren't already deep into Overwatch, watching Overwatch League felt like trying to understand quantum physics during a seizure. 6 ultimates going off simultaneously while casters screamed about huge graphs and perfect transcendence, which made zero sense to outsiders. But the real killer was solo queue.
I didn't even know that.
6 strangers trying to coordinate
I didn't know that
positions
they
and ultimate
put it on
timing.
ESPN.
It was like asking a pickup basketball team to run Lakers level plays. The disconnect between what pros played and what regular players experienced was so massive that watching Overwatch League felt like watching a different game entirely. The Overwatch 2 transition was supposed to fix everything, 5v5, role locks, simplified gameplay. Instead, it felt like renovating a house by burning it down first. PvE promises were broken, legacy content was deleted, and longtime fans felt betrayed. Current Overwatch League viewership rarely cracks 50k for regular season matches. That's a 90% decline from peak numbers. But here's what Overwatch got
Yeah,
right.
I didn't get into Overwatch 2. Overwatch 1 I did, but Overwatch 2 I didn't.
Hero shooters could work at the highest level. It normalized ability-based FPS mechanics across the industry, and it created genuinely incredible moments. Profit's Genji Blade on Dorado, London Spitfire's championship run, Pine's Widow headshots, pure poetry when it worked. The problem wasn't the game. It was trying to force lightning into a bottle made of corporate expectations. Level 5, Rainbow Six Siege. If Call of Duty is competitive fast food, Rainbow Six Siege is that Michelin-starred restaurant where the chef personally insults you if you can't appreciate the molecular gastronomy. This game doesn't just have a learning curve, it has a learning cliff that most players fall off before they understand that they're even climbing. But that brutal complexity is exactly why Siege works as a tier 1 esport. The Six Invitational 2024 sold out a 10,000-seat Montreal arena filled with fans who understood that watching Bulow execute a perfect runout or G2's site execute unfold is just as thrilling as any no-scope montage. These aren't aim duels, they're tactical puzzles where one drone spot or reinforcement placement can determine the entire round. The numbers back it up too. 6 Invitational consistently pulls 300,000 concurrent viewers across platforms, with a $3 million prize pool at rival majors. The pro scene might not have CS's massive casual crossover or Valorant's corporate polish, but what it lacks in accessibility, it makes up for in pure competitive integrity. Every operator ban, every site take, every utility troll matters. Siege has something most games never achieve, a community that genuinely respects the skill ceiling. Watch someone get demolished by Pengu or Canadian, and instead of complaining about RNG, they'll study the WOD to understand the 4D chess move they just witnessed. The game demands your intellectual respect, which is why it has earned competitive legitimacy that flashier titles still chase. Plus, let's be honest, there's deep satisfaction in watching streamers confidently load into ranked, thinking Siege looks easy, only to get absolutely dismantled by game sense they didn't even know existed.
I really like Siege. I couldn't get into it as much as I wanted to. One of my friends really did, but I don't know, something about, I couldn't really get into it. But it's a dope game. Like you said, there's a huge skill gap to it. Yeah, it's up there. I ain't gonna lie to you. And the people who play it, they love it. So he ain't lying.
Only to get absolutely dismantled. Valorant. Riot Games.
Nah, Valorant I never played. So this is one game that it is on my list that I need to hop onto, but I've never played Valorant.
At Counter-Strike's 20-year dominance and said, we can do that, but with a better infrastructure, international storylines, and abilities that actually matter. And you know what's infuriating? They were absolutely right about almost everything. Valorant Champions 2023, 1.4 million peak viewers. Istanbul Arena sold out in minutes. Fnatic vs EG Grand Finals that had more production value than some Olympic events. The VCT system creates genuine regional rivalries. NA vs EMEA isn't just marketing, it's built into the tournament structure. Meanwhile, Counter-Strike fans were still arguing about major formats from 2015. Here's what makes Valorant genuinely terrifying to other tactical shooters. Riot took CS's greatest weakness, Valve's hands-off approach, and weaponized it into Valorant's greatest strength. Consistent updates, aggressive anti-cheat that actually works, ranked system that makes sense, tournament production that makes other esports look amateur. They didn't just copy Counter-Strike, they improved on almost every aspect of the competitive experience. The abilities debate is where—
See, I always thought about getting into Counter-Strike, but like I said, it was an older game. So if I was to play one of these games, Valorant would be the vibe for me, and I love hero shooters. It's more of a PC game, and it was ported to console, so I'm gonna try it, but I don't know if I'm really getting into it just because I'm more of a console player, but who knows, I might like it. I'm gonna try it here this year.
Things get spicy. CS purists will die on that hill that jet dashes and omen smokes somehow reduce skill expression. But watch Aspas entry fragged or chronicle clutch impossible rounds and tell me abilities are crutches. The game demands everything CS requires: crosshair placement, economy management, tactical awareness, while adding another layer of utility mastery that separates good players from great ones. Is it as pure as Counter-Strike? It depends on your definition of purity. Is it building the more sustainable competitive ecosystem? The numbers don't lie. Riot's international tournament structure, regional leagues and consistent content pipeline make Valorant the most professionally managed tactical shooter in existence. That's not just good game design, it's good business. The only real question is whether Valorant can maintain this momentum when the honeymoon period ends, or if it's just really good at being shiny and new. Level 7 Counter.
So he said Valorant improved everything about Counter-Strike, but he still put Counter-Strike above Valorant, like level wise. I'm a little confused on his level system.
We arrive at the final boss. Counter-Strike isn't just a game. It's a competitive religion that's been converting believers for over 2 decades. From 1.6's CPL tournaments to Source's brief detour to Global Offensive major dominance to CS2's rocky resurrection, this franchise has survived engine changes, meta evolutions, roster dynasties, and countless CS killers that now populate gaming graveyards. The numbers are simply untouchable. CS2 launch pulled 1.8 million concurrent players. PGL Major Stockholm 2021 peaked at 2.7 million viewers across all platforms. And the Paris Major 2023 sold out arena 9,000 seats in under 20 minutes. This isn't regional success, this is global cultural dominance spanning literal decades. But statistics don't capture what makes Counter-Strike truly special. It's the purest test of FPS skill that exists. No abilities to bail you out, no random environmental destruction, no hero swaps mid-round, no aim assist training wheels. Just positioning, raw mechanical aim, economy management and tactical execution refined over 20 plus years of competitive evolution. Just think about Simple's jumping double from cache, Cold Zera's Mirage quad kill, Device's timing, get right clutches. These moments transcend game.
The core concept of this game like is literally up my alley. It's on PC. Like I think they might have a console version out, but it's always been a PC game, and I'm a console controller player, so I just can never really get into it. But the actual vibe of it is literally up my alley.
Genuine sports history. The game creates legends, not just good players. Navi, Astralis, SK Gaming, Fnatic, NIP, these aren't just teams, they're dynasties with legitimate claim to the athletic greatness. Here's why CS has survived when every competitive has faltered. It respects its own fundamentals. Updates are incremental, not revolutionary. The core AK spray pattern hasn't changed since 1999, and that consistency is a feature, not a bug. Players can invest 10,000 hours into perfecting their craft without worrying that next month's patch will make their muscle memory obsolete. Even CS2 disastrous launch, broken hit track, missing features, community revolt couldn't kill the scene. The competitive ecosystem was so robust that players just adapted and kept grinding. Major tournaments still sold out, pro salaries stayed stable, and Valve slowly fixed the issues while the scene proved its own resilience. That's the power of untouchable legacy. You can stumble without falling. Counter-Strike doesn't just sit at the top of competitive FPS. It is competitive FPS, the standard against which every other tactical shooter is measured and found wanting. The uncomfortable truth.
Number one, I guess you can put it up there. Let's look real quick, y'all, cause I'm curious. I'm pretty sure it's still popular to this day. I just never got into it, which is weird because it's literally up my alley. But this year I'm trying a bunch of different games. We just tried Delta Force. Next is Fragpunk. Then after Fragpunk we're gonna do Valorant. And after Valorant it's in the air, so we might try Counter-Strike. But here, let me see if it's up here. Yeah, Valorant's still up here. Counter-Strike still. So we're gonna try a couple of these games this year, especially if you put in like that, like, you know what I'm saying, you break it down as number one and everything. And I always known it's been around, I just never really got into it, just like I said, because it's PC. But like I said, we changing it up this year, trying different stuff, so that's gonna be on the channel too.
Here's what separates the pretenders from the champions. Longevity built on competitive integrity, not marketing budgets or viral moments. The games at the top didn't get there by accident. They earned their position by proving they can sustain professional ecosystems that outlast hardware generations, meta shifts, and changing social media algorithms. Counter-Strike dominates because it's proven it can evolve without losing its soul. The fundamentals that made 1.6 compelling still drive CS2's competitive scene. That's not stagnation, that's perfection of form. Valorant represents the hungry challenger with superior infrastructure but shorter history. It's doing everything right from a business perspective. But business success doesn't automatically equal competitive legacy. Time will tell whether Riot's corporate approach can generate the organic passion that keeps CS alive across decades. On the other hand, Siege carved out its tactical niche and owns it completely, building genuine competitive respect through pure complexity rather than accessibility. Overwatch proved that corporate money can't buy lasting esports legitimacy. You need grassroots competitive integrity, not franchise fees. But here's the thing about competitive hierarchies. They exist to be challenged, not accepted. Maybe you believe Overwatch's mechanical complexity deserves more respect than current viewership suggests. Maybe you're convinced that Halo's console legacy should carry more weight than the current numbers. So here is my challenge. Rank these 7 games yourself, but defend your rankings with more than nostalgia and wishful thinking. Consider competitive integrity, skill ceilings, viewing experience, professional sustainability and cultural impact. Factor in whether your favorite game will still have thriving scene in 5 years, or if it'll be a footnote in some future remember when article. The comment section is waiting, let's see what you've got. And remember, Passionate disagreement is the highest form of competitive.
Oh, we might watch this one next. 7 old school games. But I ain't gonna. Do I agree with his list? I guess. I'll go back to that beginning picture for all the different ranks. I forgot where it's at. We're not about to take all day. Do I agree with his list? Level 1, I guess it's not a bad list. It's just a little confusing on how he ranked his levels. You feel me? But yeah, he made some valid points. Most of the shit he said I agree with. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know. I don't really got too much to speak on because he didn't really break down how he leveled and everything. If I had to add anything, Apex, you know what I'm saying? Add Apex to the list. But it's competitive FPS, but it's more battle royale. So that's the only reason I'm assuming he didn't add it, is because it's not like respawn or not respawn, because I don't gotta be respawn, because Counter-Strike you die once. It's not more of like a 4v4 or 6v6. It's a battle royale, you know what I'm saying? It's a different type of first person shooter. Only reason I'm assuming he ain't added in there because the skill level to that is probably the best outside of, like he was saying, Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six Siege. But yeah, I pretty much agree with everything. I'm gonna give him a like. You feel me? I'm gonna subscribe too, cause he talking about some trill stuff. We might react to this video next. 7 old school FPS. Cause I already know Call of Duty and like Halo's gonna be on here, but I think we're gonna end it up and wrap it up here for this video. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feeling about it? You know what I'm saying? What are some of y'all favorite first person shooters? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Like I said, we got Frag Punk coming out next. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my supporters left some comments. They wanted me to react. You know what I'm saying? For some Frag Punk, so we gonna do that for sure. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much out of here. Make sure y'all leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will kick you guys in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.
Having my way, hit up your body, make you all I'm shake. I got the key to the motherfucking safe.